Welcome to Terra. This is our planet. These are our neighbors. Somewhere here is where we are in our galaxy. And the sea of endless galaxies make our universe. For as long as we remember, we have wondered if we are alone in the universe. Surely we mustn't be. We are comprised of some of the most common elements in the universe. Somewhere in the cosmos, there must be other life forms. And in our quest to find life elsewhere, we often fail to recognize, acknowledge, and appreciate so many fascinating things that happen all around us, right here on Earth. We may be the only intelligent life here, but there are dogs and plants and octopuses that do weird shit like this. Isn't this alien-like? Yet we only fantasize about alien life beyond our stars. I mean, yes, the fact that we have man-made objects on other celestial objects in our solar system, it's mind-boggling. But let's not forget and romanticize what we already have here on Earth. And compared to so many other known planets, we live on a tiny rock. And despite that, we have such a vast array of beings and creatures who call this place home. Isn't that crazy? I was talking to a friend the other day who is living on the other side of the planet, and they told me in a voice note that it's going to be Friday tomorrow. But it was almost 6 p.m. on a Friday where I was. I chuckled to myself in the moment, but it was only a couple of days later that I truly realized how baffling that thought was. Friday had barely begun for my friend, but I had already lived through 18 hours of it, almost a full day ahead. How does that even make sense? What even is time? I mean, yes, time zones, we've made sense out of it, but isn't it crazy that the sun is shining down here right now, but just some thousands of kilometers or miles away, there's a person who can see the stars right now, who can see the moon. I mean, think about it. Right now, in this moment, somewhere in the world, there's a pink sky. Somewhere it's a twilight blue. Somewhere right now, a parent is watching their child take their first step. Somewhere right now, a groom is getting emotional as he watches the love of his life walking down the aisle towards him. Somewhere right now, a loved one has just called their favorite person to sing them a happy birthday song. Somewhere right now, someone just came out to their loved ones and they all wholeheartedly accepted that person for who they are. Somewhere right now, there's an eagle who's just caught its prey and is going to have a delicious meal. Somewhere right now, there's a lion that's given out its loudest roar. Somewhere right now, there's a plant whose first leaf has just sprouted. How fascinating is it that even without providing any visuals on screen, you were able to picture these things exactly. That you were able to experience these things even without seeing it. It's all happening right now. All of those things. As I say this, as you watch this, and even when you watch this a second or a third time, or perhaps you're just thinking about this later on, it will still be happening. There's 8 billion of us here. It's a number we say so easily but fail to comprehend just how large that figure actually is. For context, 1,000,000 seconds is less than 12 days long. 1,000,000,000 seconds is more than 31 years long. Let that sink in. Now imagine that we have 8 billion humans alive. Add animals and plants and birds and all of that into the mix. All of that exists here. Right here in that tiny speck. Think of how there's an endless amount of stories right there. An infinite amount of knowledge and an infinite number of thoughts, actions, creativity, and art. Somehow we exist right now in this moment. So many have before us and so many more will after us. Every single action you made in your life somehow led you to this moment. to this video, to me speaking this sentence. That's insane. On a cosmic level, we are here on this planet for a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of that time. We have been blessed to exist here and now, to form deep connections with the people around us, to smell the air after it rains, to feel the warmth of a loved one, to hear the sound of the waves, to laugh and cry and shout and feel every emotion there is to feel, to create art, music, paintings, films, books, architecture, to learn a new skill. Some of us live it longer, some of us don't, but it's in our hands to live in every moment. These thoughts came to me at 3 a.m. on a random Saturday night while being completely sober. I laughed out loud, and I laughed for a while, simply thinking about how extraordinary this world is. In that moment, I felt an incredibly powerful but positive, overwhelming sensation. The feeling of how infinitesimally small I am in the grand scheme of things. And yet, I was able to feel the full, glorious wrath of the universe in that moment. I realized I am just a tiny speck of stardust existing on some plane of space and time. And yet, the universe was also inside of me. It felt as though I knew, perhaps just in that moment of laughter, just how beautiful life is.